Hi, I'm James Wangland, licensed real estate broker here at Town Housing Real Estate, and I want to welcome you to the basement. So here in the house, we actually have three different water lines present. We have galvanized, we have copper, and then we have Umphenor or PEX up on top. Your galvanized plumbing is actually the oldest plumbing here in the house. That is typically a little bit more brittle and can break. The copper is more modern that you're going to see in most homes now. It's a little bit stronger, usually gets sweated on, and has a little bit more expandability. And last is the Umphenor. That is even more expandable if it was to freeze and easier to connect. That is the product that's the most modern, just started coming out really on a wide basis the past 5 years, and now all the more modern homes are coming up with that. When you are looking at your water lines, the most important thing to see is what's coming in from the wall. The wall is going to be what your main water line is out to the street. That you typically want it to be copper. If it is galvanized, that is something that might break and you might have to replace a water line later on when you go in the home. Next we have is electrical box. So in here you're actually going to find the main service right here on top. The number right here on the tab is actually how many amps are coming into the house. In this example, it's 100 amps. Down here is all of your sub circuits that go and feed the entire house. Could be electric oven, could be the furnace, could be your outlets in the living room. All of that will be labeled right down in here. Then you want to look up top to see what type of modern wiring you have in the house. Here on the right side we have common plastic wiring, which dictates a more modern wiring. On the left side we have a cloth wiring, which dictates probably the original wire to this house, which would have been in the 1950s. And that's how you do an electric panel. So in a plumbing system you have to have a hot water tank. In this example we actually have a tankless hot water tank. But a standard tank you'll see in a basement usually is a 40-gallon round tank. Those usually last 7 to 10 years. These usually last a lot longer. The cold water actually comes in, heats up in the system itself, and goes directly to your kitchen or bathroom to give you that hot water. A tankless also allows you to change how hot the water is coming in by just a touch of a button here in the basement. You got your gas water line coming in here, and you got your intake and exhaust here up on top. And here we have the furnace. This is a high efficiency furnace which is dictated by these intake and exhaust that's coming out of the furnace. A standard or an old style gravitational furnace that would not be high efficiency would have just one coming out of the center. You have your burners in here, and that heats up the plenum right here, heats up the air and sends it out to the house. Over here we have the cold air return that completes the circulation and brings the air back to the furnace in order for it to heat up. You typically want to look at how old these furnaces are. The typical life expectancy is around 20 years, but I've seen furnaces last over 50 or 60 years.